Lions TV, this is your post-match analysis video for yesterday's brilliant 2-1 win on the road against Southampton. Nearly 3,000 Millwall fans made the trip to the South Coast to follow Neil Harris in his first game back in charge, and himself and the troops did not disappoint. Grit, determination, Millwallness, not blowing gum showing, and a real smash and grab from Harris, old school style, saw us walk away with all 3 points. As always, let's kick off the show by taking a look at the 11 that the gaffer picked to start the match. And so there was much debate about what formation Neil Harris would go with. Would it be a 4-4-2? No, it was 4-2-3-1. It was Sarkic in goal, flat back four. Danny McNamara left back. Right back was Ryan Leonard. Tanganga and Cooper were the central defence pairing. Billy Mitchell come back in from the Wilderness to play in centre midfield alongside George Saville. And then it was Zian Fleming back in a 10 where a 10 should play behind Michael Obafemi and doing the dog work up and down the wings and tucking back in inverted wingers. Call them what you like, George Honeyman and Ryan Longman. Still smiling, still buzzing. Just it felt like a real, not just the win, but the amount of people that travelled. And I felt that the channel had died down a little bit. You know, not as many people going away, myself included, a sort of not the crowd cams on the head. And of course, obviously not as many people from the channel going to away games. You know, even home games. The videos have not been flowing as much. But on the drive back yesterday, Kenny was taking us back up the A3. I was in the back like an absolute fucking machine doing what I love to do best, and that is editing videos. And we pumped out loads of crowd cams, loads of fan cams, and it was all good. Really, really enjoyable day. It was an absolute smash and grab. The starting 11, some surprise inclusions. I'll be completely honest, right? I thought he'd play Mitchell, but I shit out. I'm a shit house. Hold my hands up there. I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to get into, you're up Billy Mitchell's arse. You know Billy Mitchell, your mates with his dad. I didn't want to get into that. But I did think that he would bring Mitchell back in. But, you know, Billy Mitchell, along with Danny McNamara, along with even, you know, Fleming, Duncan Watmore, we get frustrated at him and we go, he's fucking shit, crap, get rid of him. Look at me in Tanganga. I've got to roll my hands up about that one in a minute. But look, these players are not bad players. You don't become a professional footballer through being a bad player. It just shows what a change of direction, a change of manager, a bit of confidence someone's got in you, and then you in turn find that back within yourself. It just shows you what players are capable of. Tanganga was like a man transformed yesterday, and I said he wouldn't get into Bromley, or he would be playing for Bromley. He wouldn't get into Bromley by both vets, if they got a vet side, I don't know. But he was a man transformed yesterday, and it just shows what a change in attitude can do. Just quickly, Joe Edwards, you know, he's gone now. It's in the past, and I hope we can leave him and Rowett and leave it all in the past now, because throughout Edwards' tenure, Rowett kept popping back up in conversation from not just all of you, from me as well. I suppose that's part of it. But now what's done is done, and I hope we can just focus on moving forward just for the rest of this season and then see where that takes us. But yeah, talking about Edwards, I did want Edwards for the job. I did think he's a great coach. I still do think he's a great coach. I know the players liked him and was really impressed by his sessions. But maybe, just maybe, you know, I personally am scared of Neil Harris. I wouldn't like to take a bollocking off the man. I don't know. He's just got a presence, especially at our club. And maybe, you know, yesterday I would have been petrified if I was one of those players to not give absolutely everything that I had for the cause. Under Edwards, we played better football and we'd started well in games, but we can't seem to sustain it. Yesterday was never going to be a game, even if Edwards was in charge, that we was ever going to be under the front foot. Even if Edwards was in charge, that we was ever going to be on the front foot. And I thought that Neil Harris read the script perfectly. You know, they're going to have possession, let them have it. I don't even really feel that we try to press them too much, because that's why they play it around the back. They want you to press so they can beat the press and then overload you with numbers. I just felt Neil Harris said, go out there, win your fucking personal battles, go man for man where you can. You know, let them have the ball. Don't dive into anything. Let's stay structured. Let's keep our shape and we'll win our second balls or win our personal battles, fly into tackles and give everything we got. And it was an absolute smash and grab. Take nothing away. You know, Southampton are a good side, but I do feel that they've fallen away a little bit recently. You know, Leeds winning 3-1 against Leicester on Friday night would have put extra pressure on them. But I do feel for all their possession, especially in the second half, it didn't really hurt us. I felt we was never in danger really in that second half. A couple of hairy moments, which we'll get into. But look, the game starts, and on the drive down, I said, boys, look, I love the fucking confidence. I love the buzz about it all. And I said in my preview as well, I thought it would be a great effort from the boys, and there will be plenty of positives to take from that. But I feel that, it's just going to be a bridge too far. And I think we'll probably lose the game. But I said on the way down, if we can score early, okay, I said to my boy, if we score early, just fucking enjoy that for what it is. My poor boy, he didn't go Norwich, so he's not seen us win a game since QPR on Boxing Day. And I said, if we score early, just enjoy that for what it is. And then from there, it's going to be a long afternoon. And it's exactly what happened. And it's classic Neil Harris. There's no tapping around the back. There's no 2-3 yard passes 30 times across the back line. It's a goal kick from Sarkic. Launches one upfield. Kelly was buzzing with every goal kick yesterday. Yeah, go on, there you go. Boom, get it out there. Free kick, someone gets fouled. Someone comes over the top of one of our players, I think. Free kick, just over halfway. George Saville puts it in, and Tanganga gets underneath it. The goalkeeper for them goes absolute walkabout, and it's another prime examples of goalkeepers in this day and age that, brilliant. They can all play with their feet, but none of them can save a fucking football. He's in absolute no man's land, and Tanganga's brave. Backheader, he's still got, I'm not even sure he's trying to score, to be honest. I think he's just trying to flick it back into an area. Keeper's nowhere to be seen. Wipes out Tanganga, hurts him in the process, and the ball trickles over the line. And it's pandemonium for the nearly 3,000 Lions celebrating up the other end behind the goal. After that, Southampton did get into their rhythm, but we didn't dive into anything. Thought it was very compact. Thought it was very disciplined. Tanganga did get booked. And then after he scores, of course, one of the better chances they had in the first half, shall we say. He does really well again. They had lots of corners, and they was hanging them up and drifting them right out far, wide. And they kept knocking these little flat balls in as well from sort of central to like the corners of the 6 yard box. And that's one that does come off for them. Header goes over Sarkic, and Tanganga shows exactly what a change of manager can do for you. It looks like he might be staying with us for a while now, not going to Bromley after all. But it does really well. Gets under the bar and manages to head it over, scores one and saves another certain goal at the other end. Then their equaliser comes. It's just a good goal, a well-worked goal. I was shouting. Other people were shouting, blaming Cooper. Some people saying, why the keeper saved it. I watched it back 2 or 3 times on the replay as well. It's just a good goal. They're a side that scored lots of goals. They've been slightly off form, yes, but you get what you pay for. They've come from the Premier League, and they've got a plethora of multi-million-pound talent, and they get the equaliser. Che Adams heads it in, and then you start to think, oh, here we go. This could be one-way traffic. But we held our own. Performances in that first half, Danny Mack was sensational. I think since he's come back in under Edwards, and I said, against QPR away, I think he was one of the few that could take credit there. And he dropped back out after that, which I felt was harsh. But I feel whenever he's played over the last 6 or 7 weeks, Danny Mack, I think he's been absolutely brilliant. Ryan Leonard is a man transformed. He just gets better with age. Tanganga played well. Cooper done okay. Saville Mitchell busy first half. I thought Mitchell was brilliant in the second, flying into tackles. Just shows what a change of manager and a bit of belief. Neil Harris, of course, brought Mitchell in, and he's not restricted now by Rowett, and he's not sitting on the bench with Edwards. And I think you'll be very surprised what's to come from him. Yes, I am still backing him. Longman and Honeyman worked very hard. Longman, I still can't get my head around Longman. 1 minute I think, he's decent, and the next I think, no, he's shocking. He's not a bad footballer again. Very tidy, very technical, and he loves that one where he sort of cuts in. He did try an effort, didn't he, where he's gone well wide. But I don't mind that. He scored one against Rotherham, and we know he's got that in his locker. And again, more game time could do the job. Fleming looked like a man rejuvenated in his position instead of playing wide left. He's a 10 in a 10 where he scored 16 goals last season. Obafemi up front, which will lead us on to our second goal. I'm not one to talk, but he's a lump, the boy, isn't he? He's nearly wider than he is high. He's clearly unfit. Let's say, I'm not going to go down the road of, shit, get rid of him. He is clearly nowhere near fit. And I was very, very, that was the most surprising inclusion for me in the starting 11, only because Bradshaw, that was perfect for him yesterday. And he proved that when he come on at half time, getting in people's faces, nicking the ball, winning free kicks, pressurising their back four, or whatever they play, back three, closing down the angles, forcing them to play. Of course, as well, Neil Harris signed Bradshaw. So I thought that was perfect for him yesterday. I don't know if there's a clause in Obafemi's contract. If he's fit, he has to play. But I think, oh, fucking hell, I don't know if I beat him in a race, but he runs about as much as I do. He can't get about, the boy. He definitely needs some sort of weight loss plan. And maybe do it as a duo, mate. Get teamed up. But look, he's a professional footballer. On the amount of money he's on, he's miles off it. Fitness-wise, I mean, look, he's clearly a good striker. Like I said, we know that. I was buzzing when we signed him. I'm sure a lot of you was as well. But he's not fit. He's not fit. He was sort of signaling to the bench at half-time, or near half-time, saying, like, Fing and Harris said, you need to come off. And he went, no, I'm all right. But he was removed at half-time. But not before that. He does have a hand in our second goal. Sort of ball into the box. He manages to get free, turns and shoots, which I do like about him. He did that against Coventry. He's not shy to get the ball back to goal, just turn and crack and have a shot at goal. He does that. Again, it's a clear handball. I watched it from a few angles. We saw it down our end. It was handball. It was up the other end. But from behind where Southampton fans are sitting, there was an angle that I saw last night on YouTube or somewhere. And the guy moves his hand clearly towards the ball. Stonewall penalty. And Zian Fleming steps up in off the post. Very, very good penalty from Fleming. Of course, I think he missed his most recent penalty for us against, I'm going to say Preston. No, it wasn't Preston. It was West Brom. I think was it the last penalty we got as well? Yeah, we don't get many, do we? And it's a good decision there from the officials. Maybe that's why Russell Martin lost his shit full time, but I'll get onto that prick in a minute. So we go in at half time. It's 2-1 up. Second half, as a Bradshaw comes on for Obafemi. And I said to the boys, I said, look, it could be a long half now. Even at 85 minutes, I said to my boy, I'd still take a point. And maybe I shouldn't be thinking like that, but Neil Harris was on the sideline. He was fucking riding them up. He was getting on board with the fans, and it just gave everyone a lift. We sang and we sang and we sang because the players were giving us something. And the longer the game went on, I felt the more comfortable we looked. I mean, they was clearly lacking in confidence in front of goal, Southampton. You can see the one time they did manage to sort of breach us. Balls cut back, guys on the penalty spot. He's got the whole goal to aim at, and he just fires it straight into Sarkic, who gets his body behind it, straight at him. But other than that, it's the one at the death, isn't it? And it's a great cross. It's a good header. And they're going to work themselves free. That's why they do that. You see this now in football where teams losing, they don't just start punting it. You know, teams like Southampton, they'll carry on what they're doing, what they believe in, what Russell Martin definitely does. He's that type of manager. And they'll just keep playing it because they're just waiting for that one little window where, you know, don't punt it up there. Keep the ball and keep working them and keep getting them moving, because eventually we will get that one little window of opportunity where we can get our chance. They get the chance. It's a header at goal. It's saved by Sarkic, and I've called that guy absolutely fucking everything. And I still don't trust him. I don't trust him in goal. He just makes me nervous, okay? Now, in fear of sounding like Roy Keane, he's a goalkeeper. That's his fucking job, to save the ball, right? That's why you paid the money for him. This camera you're watching me on right now is built into my new laptop. My laptop died last week. Some of you probably know that. I paid £1,800 for this new laptop. It's got a fingerprint touch to unlock it. It's got a brilliant built-in camera, which is better than any camera I've ever had. It's got loads of new features. It's got Siri on it. It's great, right? But that, to me, is a lot of money. Now, we paid over £1 million for Matija Sarkic. I didn't expect to buy this laptop for 1,800 quid and buttons start falling off and files start crashing when I start to upload them. £1 million is a lot of money to Millwall Football Club. So I expect the goalkeeper to make saves like that and earn his fucking onions. However, I will praise him. That was beyond the standard save. That was a fucking good save. He does everything that I've been asking him to do for a long time. He projects himself. His body shape's great. He gets his hand down quick. The ball's moving at quite a pace, so he's not got to get a fault or, you know, a strong hand on that. Just a little redirection flick of the wrist, which is what he does. Turns it around the post. It's absolutely brilliant. And we get the 3 points. We had one shot in the second half. I think Fleming left foot from distance. But it didn't matter. I felt we looked really comfortable. They had that one opportunity at the end. And there you go. Sarkic, you cost us many, many points. Game changer. You just won us 2 there, mate. Well done. That's 2 back. You're in credit. You're still in the negative as far as I'm concerned. But, yeah, look, well done to him. Well done to Tanganga. Danny Mack was brilliant. Ryan Leonard's just the next level player now. I used to hate the guy, but now he's fucking brilliant. And you can't fault any of them. The subs that came on, they all put a shift in. I know a lot of you didn't like the fact that Casper Dybala didn't play, but you all hate Billy Mitchell because he won't pass forward, he doesn't assist, and he doesn't score. Neither does Casper Dybala. He doesn't do any of those things. Saw Pete O'Mara outside the ground. And he said, I've had fucking about 4 rounds today. People were on me because of the podcast we did last week where Pete said, he isn't that good. And this is, again, going back to what I said earlier. Casper De Norre is a fucking good footballer, okay? As is Billy Mitchell, as is Ian Fleming. Even Duncan Watmore's effective, Brian Longman. They're good players, okay? But if they're in and out of form, if they're not quite doing it, they're low on confidence, they haven't got too much faith in the manager, then it is what it is. We're not saying Casper De Norre's a bad player, but myself, Pete, and let me know in the comments. I'm sure he's not as good as you'll think he is. I've said that before. And what am I basing that on? Well, he's not scored for the club. He's made 1 assist, and that's all he's done. So if you've got to hate Billy Mitchell for the same reason as Casper De Norre, let's not hate on anyone. This is getting a bit negative here. Let's build it back up. Like Neil Harris's first game back in charge, a brilliant Neil Harris-esque performance. People saying we can't play like this every week. Well, we won't need to, because we're not going to be playing teams to the level of Southampton every week, who are that possession-based, who was 24 games unbeaten until a couple of weeks ago, who have got multi-million pounds of talent that have come down from the Premier League. So we'll get our opportunities to dominate and to be aggressive and be on the front foot. But I'll be honest, right here, right now, who gives a fuck? I'll take that all day long. I think we're 12 games to the end of the season. Unfortunately, yesterday, you had QPR win, you had Sheffield Wednesday win, and people say, we've won, but it's not really points gained. Of course it's points gained. Don't worry about anyone else. We are where we are. Stoke have gone below us now and into the bottom 3. If we keep winning, then we stay up. It's as simple as that. And we've definitely got the opportunities to do so in the coming weeks, especially under Neil Harris. Let's get safe and then get to the summer, and then let's have a little reassess. But that's your post-match analysis done. I hope you've enjoyed it. No midweek game this week. I've got plenty on this week, so I'll be back. I'm going to try and do a podcast on Wednesday with Kenny and Henry Morgan. And then obviously we're back in the game Thursday for Watford at the Den on Saturday. They lost to Huddersfield at home, so they are definitely there for the taking. We usually do all right against them, don't we? At home especially. I think did we get 6 points off them last season? Let's wait and see for Thursday. Get ahead of myself. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.